So today, SMICM, so Internet Communication Manager, SMICM. So this is the one of the transaction code to monitor the ICM services, web-based services here. If you go to SMICM, it should be active status. It should be green, right? So which means ICM is running fine. If the ICM is running, here we need to check the services here, ports. So always the port number should be active status here. It should be active status here, the port numbers here. If the port is active here, then this is running. So here the users, they can log in with the browser side, browser SMICM through browser, they can log into the SAP systems here, right? So browser based login procedure. That time they can use the SMICM, Internet Communication Manager, right? Your main thing is that we need to check the ICM status here, ICM status, then the services we need to check it out. Services means the ports. The ports should be active status here in the SMICM transaction code here. So in case of if any issues with the ICM, so we can see the logs here. There is a trace file for the SMICM here. Display all. So you can see the work directory. Same, these logs are available in the work directory. Same here also we can view the logs here. SMICM. So here we can see what's happening with the my system and what is going wrong with the system here. All the information we can see it here. All the information we can see it here in the SMICM transaction code here. SMICM transaction code, we can see it here. The ICM related things, everything we can see it here. SMICM transaction code here. So we can see any error logs, we need to check what is happening here. So there is a connected to the SAP migration host. So the port number or something wrong, it is unable to connect it here. So that is what resource temporarily unavailable. So which means there is a connection issue from this host to and that host here, right? So anything web-based, we can the errors will be tracked under the trace file here. If you want to see the more details, so we can increase the ICM trace level. Now ICM trace level is the 1. So sometimes the existing logs are not enough. Then we can increase the trace level to 2 or trace level to 3, and we can reproduce the issue. Then we can check the log files here. What's happening? It means some more logs will be clearly, it will be detected. So SMICM also very important for the Internet Communication Manager. So which means it will help, it will handle the web-based request. SMICM web means browser. It will handle the browser-based request here. As part of our duty daily, we need to check what is the status of the ICM, and we need to check the services here, whether the ports should be active status here. The ports should be active. Then only people can use our SM services here, right? So the next one is called the SICF transaction code, which means the services activation here in SICF. So SICF's transaction code, the service activation. Suppose if you want to use some other functionalities here in SAP, we have the list of services are available here. List of services are available in the form of the tree in the default host, SAP DC, something like that. So if any functionality, suppose if you want to use the BW functionalities as a web, you need to activate the services activation. We have to do that one. Then only we can use the respective the services. We can use it here. Respective the services we can use it in the systems here. The services we can visit in the systems here. So SMICM is the transaction code here. Suppose if you want to use the web-based services or anything. Suppose some people, they will use instead of logging to the browser, instead of logging to the SAP logon pad, everything, they can use this web GUI. Suppose like sometimes it starts with the host name and port number. This is the services. Under the SAP, we have the BC, GUI, SAP, UC. These are the sub-services. These are the sub-services here. We can use it here. Sub-services, we can use it here. We can use it here. So then sometimes it may ask you to enable the dependency services as well here. So here, so we can go to here. So they are asking us to activate some dependency services here. Then you can just right click and activate the dependency services and everything. You can activate it here. Just a refresh button. Then so it will open the GUI in the browser, which means you no need to log into the SAP's browser, sorry, login pad and open it here. Through browser also you can handle the SAP related things here, which means the related sub services we have to activate it. These are the service. Under the service, we have the BC. Under the BC, we have the GUI. Under the GUI, we have the SAP. It's web GUI. Like that, we need to handle the services here. Like that, we have to handle the services in the systems here. Like that, we have to handle the services in the systems here. Right? So, any service we can handle it here. Suppose if you want to use sometimes mainly the security people, they will use this one. So GRC related things, they will use it here that time. So this will be used here. That time this will be used here. So like that, any browser level things want to open, the related service has to be open status. The related services we have to activate it here. The related services we have to activate it here. Then only people can use that services here. People can use that related services. They can use it in the systems here. Okay. So that is the SICF services activation, everything we will activate it using the SICF transaction code. So if anyone asks you to activate the services, then you can use the SICF transaction code. We have to do the services activation and everything. We have to do it in the SICF transaction code here. Okay, so that is the one thing here, SICF. Okay, so SICF transaction code. So apart from that SICF transaction code here, okay, so we have the one more thing here. Sometimes sometimes in your organization you may have a proxy. Means sometimes we cannot directly connect our SAP systems directly cannot connect to the internet public. So you have to use the proxy settings here, proxy. So that time proxy settings, where the proxy settings are available and all those things means, so this is the place here. Here we need to activate the proxy settings here. Why? Because so sometimes your company will restrict to access the internet. You use us to use the internet in your system. So in that case, they will enable the proxy settings here. So what are the site settings you have to access? Google.com, Facebook.com. So irctc.com, that proxy settings we have to activate it here. Proxy setting. This is we called as the proxy settings. So in the SICF itself, we have the proxy settings here. So some companies they may have. So if I enable proxy settings here, what will happen? You cannot access the internet from SAP level. Some internet things will not work. Connection from internet will not work here in the SAP side here. Internet things so will not work in the SAP side here. So that will happen, right? So that is the one thing here. Okay. So the proxy settings, it's a very important thing here. Proxy settings. So that is the proxy related things here. In case of where we can see means SICF transaction code, services activation, any proxy related things. So we can use that one here. We can use that is the one we can use it here. So the next one is some other generic transaction code is called SWU3. So workflow settings here, workflow SW. So U3 here, SWU3. So workflow settings here, workflow customization, workflow. It's kind of workflow customization here, customizing here, workflow customizing. So normally when we will use this workflow customization means normally this should be green. The first node should be green status here. Some kind of automatic approval and events. So some workflow, suppose like in your company, you are using the approval hierarchy. Approval hierarchy means suppose if any invoice or if any sales order, any purchase order is raised. So once the person is approved, it will go to the another approval. It will go to the another approval in the hierarchy. So like that, it will go. So that time our workflow automation customization is workflow. The workflow or flow workflow customization is, so this is a workflow customization. We have to activate it here. This all the jobs and everything we have to activate it here. Otherwise, so people cannot approve it and it will not go to the approval procedure and everything. So normally, if anyone asks you to workflow, so or after the this one is the SW3, the automatic workflow customization. This node should be active. This item should be everything should be the green status. In case of the jobs are not running, so they are the jobs in the SAP system here. It starts with the so SW jobs. So which means workflow, SAP workflow related jobs here. This should be running status here. See, it should be running status here. So then there is a user develop batch. So which will do the so all those things here. It will run all the jobs will run, which means so editing. So like workflows, any approval in place, any approval. So all those things here, the workflow customization will help you. The workflow, the customization will help here. So SWU3 workflow customization, we have to take it out here. Workflow customization here, workflow customization. Okay. So normally during the refresh time, so all those things we can use it here. So to maintain the workflow customization, SWU3 is the transaction code. We can use it so that so any approvals are in place or anything, there it will be it will go to the hierarchies and everything here. So mainly, so functional team they will configure the some approval procedure, hierarchy procedure. That time they will ask us to enable this workflow SWU3. So we have to enable these jobs and everything. We have to enable it. That is the workflow customization here. The next one is called the SCOT transaction code. Okay, SCOT email configurations here. The SCOT transaction code here. SCOT SV. What is SCOT transaction code here? So the SCOT transaction code here. That is called the so the inbound communication methods, inbound and outbound communications. We will use the SCOT transaction code here. So the SCOT transaction code is there. So there is some kind of some configuration we have to do that one here. So right, if you go to the SCOT is the transaction code in SAP. If we go to the here we need to configure the mailbox configurations and everything here, right? So why? Because to receive the emails from SAP, to receive the emails from SAP, sometimes what happens, your purchase order is approved, immediately you will get the notifications to the mailbox, right? So because of mailbox by SAP from system, from automated generated emails, you will get it out. As soon as your payment is done, you will get the automated generated emails, right? From SAP or some other sites, automatic tickets, you will get it out because of, so you will receive. Same as like here from SAP, if you want to receive the email functionalities or everything, so then here in the SCOT, we need to enable the SMTP node. We have to enable it here in the SCOT transaction code. We have to enable the SMTP node here. Here the node is already active. In case of the node is not exist here, we have to create it here. And the node is not exist, we have to create the node. We have to create it here. We have to activate the node. Suppose example, let me show you where we have something like, I can take it here. SCOT. So here it is already there, right? So what I will do, I will remove it here. During the initial time, it will be, so there is nothing. It will be empty here. So the first thing here in the settings tab, in the settings tab here, we have to maintain the domain. So domain name here. We have to maintain the domain name. Means our company domain name, we have to maintain it here in the first setting. So to maintain the SCOT configuration, the domain name in the settings we have to maintain. Once you maintain the domain name, then we have to activate the node. The node activation we have to do that one here, right? The node is called the SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. So that one we have to explain here. This is the mail server, something like that. I have given the description here. Just click on the continue. What is the mailbox server host name? So every company there is a mail server host name. So that normally which we will receive the emails via mailbox server, right? That mailbox server details we have to maintain it here. So in case of normally we don't have any mailbox server, so then what we can do, we can maintain some dummy mailbox server details like smtp dot smtp dot so some gmail.com something jump here port number is the 22 by default 25 by default port number, then internet. Okay, what are the address area you want to send it out? You want to send it to the all the addresses, then star. No, I don't want to send to the all, I want to send the two. So then user, then I want to send it to the star the rate of something gmail.com. So which means only your emails will send from SAP to only Gmail, all the Gmails it will go out, right? Or if you want to maintain our company.com, then you can maintain the my company.com, then only my company related emails will go outside, right? Then my company.com you can maintain it here, right? So then so there is a waiting time procedure. If you want to configure, you can configure it here. Click on the continue. Then mailbox server got configured here. So which mailbox server, whatever you have given the details, then the mailbox server got configured here. The mailbox server got configured here, right? So which means this via this node, you will receive the emails from SAP. You will receive the emails from SAP systems here, email systems from. So in case of if we have the real mailbox server, in case of if we want real mailbox server here, so we have to use this SMTP. So if in the organization, we have the every organization there is a real mailbox server. There we have to maintain the this SMTP details. We have to maintain it here. SMTP details we have to maintain it in the systems here. SMTP server, right? Normally dummy we have given, which means it will done the real one, so it won't send the emails. So if you want to adjust the address type here, you can adjust it here. If you maintain the star, everybody, every company, every emails, they will receive the emails from the your SAP systems here. That will happen here, right? So this is the configuration we have to do that one, right? Then also after that, so there is a once you done this configuration, SMTP configuration here, like first default domain, we have to enable it here. Then here there is a SMTP configuration, we have to do that one. Then after that, in SMICM, there is a SMTP port. SMTP port should be activated, deactivated. That is also done. So normally, if you want to activate the ports, multiple ports configuration, everything, go to the services, click on the create. Then you can create the port number, whatever the port numbers you want to create it, you can create the port number, we can activate it here. So then the next step is called the in SICF, the SCOT node should be activated. The SCOT should be activated here. So it should be activated. The SCOT already saved activated. So this should be SAP Connect should be activated. Then, then there is a one job here. There is a SAP Connect job. So SAP Connect job here. That SAP Connect, they go to the send jobs. There is a one job we have to activate to send the emails. There is a SAP Connect job here by default job. So that every 10 minutes, what will happen? Every 10 minutes or every 15 minutes, whatever the naming time. So just you can send it out here. What will happen? Every 10 minutes, the job will send the emails to the respective recipients here. If you want to maintain the 10 minutes, some people 5 minutes. As soon as you've done the transaction, every 5 minutes the job will done, will send the emails to them here, right? Then where can I check? The configuration part, we have done everything in the SCOT transaction code. In the SCOT, we have done the transaction like SMTP connection, outbound connection. Outbound means outbound. Outbound means which is going outside of the outside from SAP, right? From your system to out. That is called the outbound. So for their mailbox configuration, domain, ports, all those things we have to activate it here, right? Inbound means which is coming inside of the system here. Inbound means which is coming inside of the system here, right? Sometimes what happens, other mailboxes to your SAP system, you will get the emails. SAP system, you will get the emails here. That is called the inbound. So let's concentrate on the outbound only. Outbound means it is going outside of the system. So every company, they definitely they will configure the outbound messages. Suppose if any payments or any transactions or anything is done as a attachment, you will get the emails from your respective systems, right? Same as like here. So to get that functionality in SAP system, you have to enable the SMTP node, we have to enable it here. SMTP node, we have to enable it here. So once you enable it here, then we can test it out. Normally, once you enable it here, if you go to the SOST, here we can check it out how many. So mails got failure last 24 hours, whether the mails are going out or not. We can check it out here. This is called the outbound request. Here we can just check how many are failing, how many are doing all those things. We can check it out. See here, all the requests are getting failed. All the requests are getting failed here. It's failing. So which means we don't have the mailbox server. That's why everything got red status only. Everything got red status only. It is failing because of this one here, right? So normally to test this functionality, we can check it out. Normally success, then you will get the success messages. Failure means an error. Then we can try to resend it out. If not going, then we need to. So if not going, then we need to inform to the functional team. They will take care of this part. Why this mail is not went to the, whether the mail other emails are read, why these emails are not read. Maybe the receiver is not the correct address. Sometimes it's wrong address. So sometimes that type of things, it may be possibilities here, right? So that is the SOST. We can check the SOST. We can check the outbound email status of outbound emails. We can check the outbound emails. So status, whether it went or failed status or what it. So SCOT configuration, the mailbox server configuration, domain addresses, etc. We can configure it in the SCOT transaction code here. So what will happen every 10 minutes, there is a SAP connect job will run that will send the, if any emails are stuck here, that will send it out here. So if we want to test that functionality, we can go to the SBWP SAP Business Workspace. So SBWP is the SAP Business Workspace here. So normally this is like our business workspace. Each user, there is a separate business workspace here. So if you want to send the messages, if you want to check the inbound messages, outbound messages specific to your user, we can check it out all those things here. There is a 13 documents are there here, right? 9 unread messages are there here. You have the unread messages. You have the reply messages are there here, unread messages. So you will get it out. Normally, if you open your mailbox, how your all those things will get. Same as like SAP also, you will get the all those things here. So in the SBWP, each user, there is separate business workspace here. We want to send the message to the your friend, title, text message. Text message is ignored. Something like that, you can write in the message. Recipients, who is the recipients? Suppose like I will give the my email ID here. Let's see. Normally it won't work, definitely. Then it is a internet address, right? Internet address. So then click on the send button. If you want to add the attachment, you can add it. You can add the attachments, you can add it here. You can add the attachments, you can add it here. So then the email we can see it here. Now we want to see whether email went out or not. So it's not went here. The email it not went here. As you can see, still it's stuck only here. So it's waiting to the job to pick up it here. It is waiting for job to pick up it here. Right? See here, this is the text message which is going to the recipients here. But now there is a job here in SM37 which we scheduled, that is called the SAP the connect job, SAP connect job here. This SAP connect job, so this is released, the connect job got released every 10 minutes here. So as soon as the job started triggering here, whatever the emails are stuck here in SAP system, whatever the emails are stuck, all those things will gone. Means it will be send it here. All the emails will go away here. Let me go to here. Change it here every 10 minutes. Job frequency. Means manually I am scheduling the job instead of waiting for 10 minutes. Manually, I'm scheduling the job here. Here, this is running. So manually, I'm scheduling the job. This is completed. So when completes here, this will go away. But this got failure because of connection error. There is no SMTP cannot be transferred to the cannot due to the connection error. There is no mailbox server. What something like dummy I have given like in the SCOT. So this is the error message here. This is the error message here. Document sent, but it not be transferring to the target receiver. But because the SCOT whatever the in the SCOT, whatever you mentioned in the SCOT here, this is a mailbox host name. This is not exist. That is the reason the connection test failure to the this host here. That's why it's not going to the mailbox server. It's not going to the mail server here. Okay, it's not going to the mail server here because of this host number is wrong. If it is the correct, definitely whatever the person you sent it here, so that person will receive the emails with attachments, all those things. Normal now we are manually sending, but in the real time, the jobs will send automatically. Jobs will send automatically. As soon as you done the payments or whatever it completed, you will get the attachments from the SAP, right? That kind of information will be done by the SAP. So we have to use here the SCOT is the transaction code to perform the configuration. SOST is the outbound email checks and everything. So SAP business workspace, we can check the our workspace related things and everything. We can check it out here. So SOIN, that is called the inbound configuration. There is a lot of configuration inbound. There is a inbound emails checks. We can check the inbound email status here. So if any inbound emails got stuck here in SAP, we can check it out. Inbound request. Means inbound are stuck. We can check it out here. Inbound emails, we can check from here, right? That is the inbound emails. Then we have the few more transaction codes. Normally, DBA cockpits, DB02, space level checking, space checking, DBA cockpit. If you go to the DBA cockpit, here we can check the space, we can check the performance, spaces, how much free space, what is the table, large going to fast going tables here, right? Jobs, backups, history. Here we can check it out. All those things here we can check it out in the DBA cockpit related transactional codes, performance and tracing related transactional codes. ST01, ST05 are the tracing we discussed in the last class, right? Then apart from that, yeah, one more thing is the business functions activation. SAP business functions activation here. Here SFW5 SB. So here business functions activation here. Business functions means normally function team uses this transaction code, or sometimes they will ask us to activate the business functions. Business functions in our SAP system by default. So all the business functions, all the business functionalities are not enabled. If you want to enable the some of the business functionalities, we need to use the we need to use this transaction code. This transaction code will take time actually. So here we need to enable this business functions here, SFW5. Okay, so SFW5 as the business functions activation. So some cases we may have to activate it. So that time, so we need to check which business functions we have to activate it here. Is it like a HCM related business functionalities, like HR related functionalities? The HR related functionalities already enabled here. Like which business functions they want to enable it here? You go to the here. So some functionalities are not enabled. So if the light symbol is there here, right? Light symbol. So here to activate this one, suppose like if you want to activate the financial something, then select it here, right? Select it here. then you can activate the changes here. So that will be activated. That will be activated here. There is a job will start backend. So that will activate the changes. So they will tell you which business functions you have to activate it here. There the data archiving cockpit related transaction, right? So if you want to activate the ILM related things here, right? Then you can activate it here. This is already activated. You can see that this is already activated here, right? You can see here will be activated. So will remain be activated, will remain be deactivated. So which means activated or deactivated, you will get the status here, right? Will remain activated, deactivated. Right? UI framework. So the warranty dealer portal related information. So sometimes they may ask you to activate this one. Then you need to select it. You have to activate the, so this related things we have to activate it here in the transaction code here. So there is a job will run it. It will it will clear the all the information and everything here. So that is like a, so business functions activations. So if any business functionalities, the functional team developer they want to enable it, so they can we can enable it by going to the, so SFWP transaction code here, right? SAP functions activations. Okay, this is the transaction code here. Then apart from that, what other transaction codes we have? ST06, like operating system level details and everything that we discussed already. Operating system call monitor, like what is the system calls, CPU calls, seconds, CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilizations, all the information we can see it here. All the information we can see it here, right? Only 11% utilization. ST03 workload analysis, we can see it here. ST02 buffers and all those things we can see it. So these are all the things we discussed, right? You need to practice all those things. So apart from that, what other things we have? The small things. ST22, SM21, like so SM12, 13, 14, and SM37 we discussed. Work process related things, all those things we discussed. So some other transaction codes, if I recollect, these are all the daily we will not check it out as and when required, but this is a daily transaction code. Daily we will check the outbound emails, anything stuck or not. SMICM services, we will check it out. This is as and when required. They will ask us to activate it. We will do the activations and everything here. Then some other things like, yeah, operation modes. Okay, maybe one or two, maybe I'm not sure, but let's discuss about the operations mode transaction codes. Okay, operations mode, operation modes. Okay, there is a small concept, operation modes concept here. So operation modes, operation modes are like, this is the concept SAP introduced for this is one of the functionality actually SAP introduced it here. Operations mode here. So this concept SAP introduced for, so resource configuration side. It's like dynamically we can convert the dialog with process to BTC, and the BTC to dialog we can convert it dynamically. Means without any restart, so we can convert it. Sir, how is it is possible? We want to change the dialog work process from 6 to 7 or 4 to 5, then we have to use the, so like parameter, we have to change it, we have to restart it, right? So then how it is possible here? So that is the reason we have the operation modes concept SAP introduced here. So which means using this operation modes concept here, we can convert dialog work process to, so BTC, then BTC to, so dialog work process we can convert it without any system downtime. In the online itself, we can convert it here. This process is called the operation modes. Using this operation modes, So this procedure, we can convert it here. Sir, why we have to convert it here? So when we have the system memory capacity related issues, if you want to change the work process to the high number, then we may have to restart the system, and also you don't have that much of memory. But as per this operational mode concept, we can normally, as a business scenario, during the peak hours means during the business hours, we need more dialogue work process, right? So that time BTC less also fine. Why? Because nothing will run during the daytime. Only we need more dialogue. So then we can convert existing we can convert existing so background work process to dialogue, right? And also non-business hours, non-business hours, we need we need we need we need more BTC work process. We need more BTC work process here. That time, so we can convert existing dialogues to so more. Non-business hours means night time, right? Night time, no business will happen in the systems, right? So that time jobs will run actually. Night time only more jobs will run. Jobs will run in the early morning hours, we will get the salaries, right? Same as like night hours only we will get the, so we need more BTC work process are required here. Business hours, we need more dialogue and process are required here, right? That is the one use case here. That is the one use case here we have, right? Business hours and non-business hours here. So we need more dialogue work process during the business hours time here. We need more BTC work process during this time, non-business hours. So then in this case, sir, morning time, if I change the parameter, I will restart it. Night time also, I will change the restart parameter and I will restart it. Then we will get the more BTC, right? No need to restart. So using this concept, using this operational mode concept, what we can do, existing means already available resources, you can utilize it. How many you want to in the dialogue? How many means business hours time, you can convert it. So there is a configuration, we have to do that one to achieve this configuration. So here we have to use the RZ03, RZ04, then SM66, SM63 are the transaction codes. We can use it to convert it here, right? So here in that case, we have to go to the, suppose like example, SM50, we'll see how many are there here. So here 0 are free. Oh, what is that? All are running status here. What is running? All are running status here. So 4 are there, 4 are free. So BTC, BTC, so see here, 7 are there here, which means there might be a operational modes already in place here, I think. Right? See, number of things are there here. We can delete all those things, it's not required. See, lot in the system, there lots are there in the same systems here. Lots are there. Our guys are doing the lots. They are doing a lot of things here. So we don't require all those things here. So what we can do, we can fill this all those things. Okay. So it's the I changed it here. I changed it back to the normal status here. Then RZ04, you see lots are there here. So it's already there, lot are there here. So many things they our guys are created here. So many things our guys are created here. So now see, so it's coming to the free status here. It's coming to the free, right? We have more background process are there here. We have more, so we have only less dialogues are there. In that case, so not, BTC processor nothing is doing. It's still idle status only. So why we need 7 in the business hours? Why we need 7 now? We can convert in this 4 to as a dialogue mode. We can convert it, right? So in this case, what we can do, we can go to the RZ04 here. Just click on the create. So we can have to create the modes, operational modes here. Then peak hours, peak time. Then we can create the one more operational modes. Then so non-peak time, peak time and non-peak hours, means business hours, non-business hours. Like that, two operational modes I created, right? So peak time and non-peak time I created, right? So then I can go to the, so I can go to the instances and operations here. So my God, lots are there here. You see, we can delete all those things. Already our guys are practicing, I guess. That is the reason you can see lots are there here. But hours are the peak and non-peak hours here. So in that case, click on the create button. So what is the host name? Our host name is the KP Online 1. So instance number, I see the right, it's a 02, I think. Yeah. So select the profiles. So instance profiles. Here we have the dialog 6 and BTC 5 are there here. So BTC dialog 6 and BTC as per the profile, right? Then you can see already defined. So already our guys are using here. So that's why let me delete. Yes, I deleted all. Okay, I deleted all. It's good now. RZ04304. Oh, so why we have again here? Oh my God, it's take a lot of time to configure. Okay, go to the instances and operation modes. Click on the create new instance. Here you can choose the maybe online 1. So here instance number is the 02 is our instance number. Then profile directory you can choose like a default profile. So then click on the save button here. So then here you need to choose the, so currently we have the dialog process 5 and background process we have the 7 as per the profile, right? So as per the profile we have here. Then we can change it to the peak hours. Peak, that is what we change it. We given to the peak here. Peak time we need more dialogues. Then means less BTC. Then you can just increase the BTC. Then you can change it to the. Then you can change it to the here. Then just to go to the other operation modes. Save it. Other operation modes. Then you can change it to the non-peak hours. The non-peak hours means night time. We don't require much here. Then we can reduce the dialogues to the 5, then BTC to, so more BTC. So we can change it here, right? 5 and 6. You can save it here, right? You change it now, right? So what you have done during the business hours means peak time. So peak time you need more dialogues, less background, right? Non-peak hours you need so less dialogues to increase it here. So it's matching, right? It's a matching here. So which means we are converting the existing resources from one to another. You are converting the existing resources. You are converting from dialogue to background, then background to dialogue. You are converting here like that. You set the timelines. You set it out here, right? You set the timelines. So all the configuration we have to do it in the all the configuration we have to do it in the RZ03 itself here. RZ03 itself we have to do it here. Then go to the SM63, go to the timelines. So here means the peak hours means what is the timelines you want to set it out. So peak hours means what is the timelines here. Right? So normally the system time is now here. This is the timelines. Now from this time to next. So this time maybe we will. This is a US time zone, but India time zone. Like let's take it as a peak hours. Peak. There is our created peak. There is a peak time. Right? From this time to and this time is a non-peak hours. Non-peak hours here. Non-peak time. You created, click on the assign, that is done, right? So now you created a peak time and a non-peak time. Operational modes are active now. Operational modes are active now. So now, as per the timelines, what it will do, it will convert. It will convert existing dialogues to the BTC. All those things will happen here as per the timelines here. So now what will happen? So this will convert. You no need to daily as per the timelines, daily, day, peak hours, non-peak hours as per the timelines which you kept in the system. Like here, the peak hours you maintain like 17. 17 means 5 to 7. Suppose like peak hours, which means 7 dialogue work process for BTC. Non-peak hours 5 and 6, right? So you converted here, you changed it like this here. So which means, so it will, peak hours means as per this timelines, your work process will be converted. As per this timelines, your work process will be converted here. As per this timelines, your work process will be converted. If you want to manually switch, that is also possible. Manually switch the operation modes. So we can convert it existing. So based on this, we want to decrease, we can decrease. We want to increase, we can increase it here. So based upon these timelines, your so operation modes will change it here. Based upon these timelines, your operation modes will change it here, right? So that is the operation modes concept in the SAP system, which means so without restarting existing system resources, we can convert it from one to another. We can convert it here without any restart. That is called the operation modes here, right? That is called the operation modes concept. Okay, so that is called the operation modes concept. In the SM63, we have to change the timings, assignment, and everything. We have to do it here. So all the work we have to do it in the RZ04. RZ04. Here, first of all, we have to create the operation modes. Then next one is the we need to assign the instances, how many you required and everything here. First, we have to create the instances like peak hours, non-peak hours. Then we have to go to the instances. Then how many you want to create, you can create it here. So then based on that, your operational modes will change it here. Operational mode, the modes will change it to the respective members here, right? So there is a option to manually also we can trigger it here. Manually also we can distribute. Manually also we can change the operation modes here. Existing set. No. There is a switch option is there somewhere. Okay, so that's not required, but as per the timelines, it will act it accordingly. Okay, this is procedure is called the operational modes. This procedure is called the operational modes procedure here. Means converting the existing resources from one to another. Means one to another is called the operational modes here. Means so dialogue to background, background to dialogue. So why it is required means during the daytime means business hours time, we need more dialogues. But if you change the parameter, that is the permanent. So nighttime also we have the more dialogues. So instead of that, you do if you want to change the increase the dialogue, you don't have the much memory. You don't have the enough memory to change it, right? So in that case, what we can do, we can convert it. What we can do, we can change the we can increase the work process, dialogue work process more by using the operational mode concept. You don't need to restart it. You don't need to change the profile. Just system itself automatically, as per the timelines you have given, it will convert existing dialogues to background to dialogue. It will convert it so that so we can utilize this feature without restarting existing resources only. You are converting to the so dialogue to background to dialogue converting. So your system will survey to all the users here. That is what operational modes concept. That is called the operational mode concept. You can use it here, right? That is the one. Okay. So this is the operational modes concept. So once